Hello there, it's Mike.
And Katie.
It's episode 167.
The one with Fire, Peace, Keanu, and MacGruber.
On Cup of Rad. Hey, we're back at it. We're flying in your face and your ears. We're dipping into the ether that is that of peace.
You even got me singing. Don't expect it again.
Don't expect it again. Don't ever. So this episode, it's Peacemaker finale.
It's action, man. Action-packed action.
Action on top of action.
Yeah.
Coated in.
Action in your ear holes.
So it's been a few weeks since Peacemaker hit. James Gunn and John Cena's spin-off from the Suicide Squad.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that we can talk about this final episode with spoilers in tow.
You mean the Eagle show?
Yes, the Eagle show.
Speaking of which, did you see that amazing Peacemaker accessory to the Eagle hot toy?
Yes, I did. I was quite surprised at how big of
it's like
accessory.
Really impressive accessory pack.
Yeah, I've never seen so many accessories for one figure in one package.
Right? Like it's super impressive. The amount of like extra love that you get for the Eagle hot toy. I mean, it's unprecedented.
Right?
Yeah.
Too bad the Eagle hot toy wasn't better.
Right? It's kind of crap by itself. Anyways, let's continue.
When are they gonna bring out the quarter scale?
Right. I would like a life-size prop replica
of Eagle.
I would buy that in a heartbeat. I really would. It would be amazing.
Really?
I want a giant eagle and be I don't know where the hell I'd put it.
A 1-to-1 replica?
Yes.
Of Eagle?
Yes. I would like it to have extending wings so it can hug me. He's like, I have a whole new worry about you, Katie.
Are the cats, the child, and me hugging you not enough that you want a fake eagle to hug you?
It has nothing to do with you guys not being enough.
It's just the desire.
No, it's not. I really don't care, but
the deep burning America inside you.
I need America to hug me, man.
Huh. This is wow. I did not expect it to go here. I did not expect any of that to go.
Just giant eagle. No, even if it was just like hanging out on the shelf, like
with his wang out.
What?
That's a saying. Hang out with your wang out.
Who's? I know I've heard that before.
That's
but
the 90s,
why?
baby.
It's a terrible saying.
90s, baby.
Terrible saying.
I didn't say it was a good saying.
So the Peacemaker show.
You're gonna have to take point on this because I don't even know what's happening anymore.
We're talking about the Peacemaker.
Yeah. Where are we going from here?
We're talking about the finale. We finished it. What did you think of the show overall? Was it like up to your expectations or?
Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this show. It made Thursday night must-see TV again.
Right?
I am sad that it wasn't even a full 8 weeks because we had the 3 episodes right off the bat.
And it was kind of sad that we couldn't spread it out, right? I'm sorry, I'm yawning.
I like the single episode drop only because it gives us time to digest and watch the episode without having to rush and have the internet destroy it for you.
Right? Because then you could really enjoy each one and let it digest.
Yeah, and really think of what's happening and where it's going and what's happening with the characters. With the episode before, with him actually, killing his father and
that was intense. All
those kind of things where, it came to a pretty grand finale, finding out about the cows and everything that the butterflies were using to feed them because they didn't have their food source. But the fact that at the very end too, you end up finding out that Peacemaker's crew are actually on the opposite side of what the butterflies are trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the butterflies are trying to save our planet from us and our lack of wanting to care for science and just throw everything in a bus. So they're trying to take over the people.
So they say, of course. But yeah.
Right. But it was just interesting because he.
Well, then I actually felt really bad
when he, right? And so, no, it was epic. Like, as a whole, I loved it. Like, I'd probably watch the show again because it was just, there was a lot of humor, a lot of action, and a lot of heart. Basically taking a villain, a Z-list villain that's with racist, homophobic undertones, and switching him over and showing that he's not actually a product of his upbringing. He doesn't believe all the crap that he kind of spewed. And he's actually a decent human being. Yeah,
all the problems that he has, the fact that he is able to break that mold of his upbringing, his terrible father, how much worse he could have been. And when that idea, when you're outside of that influence, how you can be better still,
and the fact that he is truly still a good human being inside.
And so it shows, it's a commentary on the fact that there's some judgment that can be held on people for past, but it still is what they've learned and their current actions that are the most important. It's weighting actions, right? So, you know, what you did yesterday should matter more than what you did 10 years ago. Because people grow, the world changes, things happen. If you never change and you keep being the same person over and over again, then that's who you are, obviously, you know? And so the importance of not just assuming that, well, this person did one bad thing or one bad decision and that's who they'll always be. And I think that's a really good thing for us to think about.
But also too, with him not doing a apology party, right? And he just was doing what he needed to do to make it through, and his actions and grew with his group to show how he was, right? I think Cena did a great job acting in it.
I think he did an amazing job.
Because there was quite a bit of emotions in some of those scenes and all that.
He did, it's a great range. It wasn't just comedy or action. You know, when he was sad, you really felt it. You know, he did a great job of being mopey, you know?
Right. So, and then we got a great moment at the end. It was a high five moment. We couldn't believe that they actually went through with this. Because that was one of the things I said about the Justice League movie. I said the Suicide Squad movie was that they never mentioned the Justice League. Like, why wasn't the Justice League coming to fight Starro? Well, it was cool at the very end of the battle with the cow and the butterflies and all that.
Because they'd say you should call the Justice League because this stuff is out of control.
Right. And the Justice League shows up, and my first thought was, oh, this is awesome. We get to see the Justice League, but we're only going to see them in shadow. Silhouettes, That's still really a cool moment. And then you've got Cena, and he's like, you know, you guys are fucking late. Like, you're always late, right? And then, you know, throwing shade at Aquaman for having sex with fish. And then we actually get Momoa. Right? You know, in that scene and in that moment, right? And it's just like...
And we actually got the Flash.
The face actors are there playing their two characters, saying how much
Momoa swear at the Flash?
I hate that fuck... Well, he says, I hate that fucking guy to Peacemaker. And then Barry's like, you know, making fun of him about the rumors being true. And he's like, fuck off, Barry, right? Like, so... It was just awesome to see, like, and they actually were able to use them in the moment.
Well, I was just in shock. I was, oh my God, this is actually happening. Like,
we high-fived because it was just awesome, right? It was just like, yes, this is finally.
Someone actually acknowledged that this would have actually happened, you know?
And so that was super cool to see.
Yeah, that was an excellent way to end it, for sure.
It was a great cameo. It was one of those rare, like, fan service cameos that... But also was no one came in and saved the day for Peacemaker. He
everything was about everything
himself. But, you know, and then they just came and they were going to be like the ones that saved the day, but they were too late, right? Like, so I thought that was super cool.
I really thought that they were going to kill Harcourt. That was like...
Well, see, there was a lot... There, as much as they got announced for a season 2... it was announced that this was a contained story.
Yeah.
Because it was never conceived as a show with a season 2.
Yeah.
It was always just conceived.
So like, okay, they actually could, as long as Peacemaker's alive, they could actually kill more of them off.
Right. So, she looked like she was going to die for sure. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know how she really lived, unless Barry brought her to the hospital.
Maybe. But all of them, even Diebeard, he broke his ankle. Like,
Diebeard's like confession about what happens and like what he had said to the butterflies was
heartbreaking. So we call him Diebeard.
I know, right? Like that was touching and so sad.
Yeah.
And this show was so good.
Oh, it was excellent. Like everything about it was it was a great romp. Like I never felt like anything was filler to the point of why are we watching it? And it's another case of being a streaming service that, right?
Yeah, everything was intentional, moving the story forward.
And it was great. It was just
a good team. It was a good, solid story. And yeah, I really.
What did you think about when he activated Human Torpedo?
That was definitely it was vengeful, but also convenient for him, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, I'm really mad at you, but it's also a good thing you're wearing this because I'm going to take advantage of it. But that was horrific. And it was really conflicting at the end there because you felt bad for the butterflies. And then I thought he was really going to change his mind. And when he didn't, I was quite shocked.
Yeah.
So it was enjoyable not knowing exactly how it was going to play out.
Yeah.
But it still actually ultimately made sense. It wasn't like, what the hell is this?
Right.
You know, if he had changed his mind, it actually wouldn't have made as much sense. Because it would have put less weight to everything that had happened for it. But the brutality... Well, then how could
you actually continue with the idea that the world's being controlled by butterflies, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like they needed to know that it's going to end.
Yeah.
And yeah, the brutality of killing this
cow,
rare space worm cow thing, it was really intense.
Yeah.
So
that was just when Adebayo just launched inside
that was impressive.
The cow.
Yeah.
But it was brutal. The end was brutal, and it was awesome to have that brutality within the show.
Yeah.
You know, with him with his shield. And so there's a few things though, like I say the hot toy, right? You know, he didn't use his axe, and he didn't use his sword. Did he use his sword?
I think so. Yeah.
When?
I thought he was using it with the shield. Wasn't he using his sword then?
No, I thought he saw the gun.
We'll just watch it again.
But he had a shield. Right? The hot toy feels more like it was supposed to be for the Suicide Squad.
Yeah. I still don't understand the tongue with a hot toy.
Yeah, he's got his tongue hanging out. So it's just a weird, like, I don't think it doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do love way back at the beginning of the finale there, when he was trying to get Eagly to bring the helmet to the top of the barn as if he was actually going to be able to train and talk to him.
Yeah.
And then you realize how much Eagly just does what he wants. He's not really listening to Peacemaker, really. Yeah. You know, he's not that well trained of doing things. And I thought that was quite funny that they didn't just make it so he was magically able to do everything that Peacemaker says and understands.
Yeah.
You know, there was no reason, because there's no cue as to what's going on with that. He doesn't understand what you're trying to say. And so I like that dose of reality to it, as much as it's a bit of science fiction having a pet eagle.
Yeah.
It was still funny. They're like, of course, this is what happened. Like, so.
Yeah, everything about it, I was on board. I was a good time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm eager to find out what they do for a season 2, because it just was too cool, like too fun, like of a show, you know.
And James Gunn is going to be for season 2 as well.
I know he's producing it. I don't know if he's going to be writing it and directing.
I mean, the biggest thing is writing it. I know he didn't direct every single episode.
He directed 4 out of the 8.
Yeah. Which, I mean, obviously he would have picked people who had the same vision as he did, right? But
but yeah, I don't know how. I assume he'd be writing it again, because he seems to be very passionate about his projects. But we'll have to see where it goes from there and what threat they throw at him.
Yeah.
To make it worthwhile, right? To not feel to feel different enough and worthwhile, right?
Yeah, exactly. It can't just be the exact same thing, but
so I wonder if they with Economos there, the dyebeard thing, I wonder if that has any truth of a feeling, because of the fact that I know Gunn he had talked about letting his hair go natural and gray and white.
His hair's white.
Yeah, he talked about he's decided to stop dyeing it, right? So like
he stopped it in COVID, or did he stop
it in COVID? Like when he had to be in COVID and lockdown and wasn't able to get it done professionally and all that, right? So like, is there a connection to that story? Is there any actual truth then to that?
Yeah. Of like, he might have been, who knows how long he's been white, right?
Right. Yeah.
He might have done that at some point.
You know, did he dye it just to make himself feel younger and look cool, right? Like,
yeah. Well, because it's funny when you think of some people that have white hair that we've just, like say Steve Martin, we've just always assumed he just always has had white hair. Yeah. But overall, as a society, we definitely treat those people as if they are older.
Yeah.
And yeah, I have no doubt that there's some commentary on that one for sure.
So Peacemaker is on HBO Max in the States, and it was on Crave in Canada. So if you haven't seen it, it is worth finding to watch it. If you especially like that rude, crude,
even if we spoiled it for you, it's still worth it.
But even like, I don't even know if we really spoiled a lot. Like, there's a couple things. But,
yeah, we did, but it's okay.
There's no real.
We spoiled it. But go watch it.
You're gonna enjoy the laughter. Like that. Literally, the dance scene alone in the front of every episode is worth watching.
Yeah, you're gonna learn that, right?
Totally, I'm working on it.
Yeah,
I'm working on it because that's what you need in your life. You need that dance sequence. So I'm waiting for you to work on Harcourt's part.
I know, right?
With those shoulders.
I know. So with our love of John Cena, we had this family movie kind of earmarked in the background there, and we thought we would take advantage of trying to watch it. And you had found Playing with Fire?
Yeah, 2019 it came out, actually. It's a Nickelodeon movie. It was on Netflix for us. Playing with Fire. John Cena plays a smoke jumper. And him and his crew find some kids in a cabin, and due to a storm, they have to keep the kids.
Safe haven rules.
Yeah. And Keegan-Michael Key is in it.
Yeah, and John Cena is like really by the books, like really intense with this, like trying to be the top of the smoke jumper chain there. And it's like everything he lives and breathes this idea, and having the kids around, which are messy and chaotic, is just not conducive at all for him. And it's the idea of coming around and realizing what the kids really need, and finding that connection to people is more important than anything. Right?
Yeah. So he's very career driven. Like he thinks basically he only wants one thing. He wants to become the chief of all smoke jumpers. Right?
Yeah. And what's most important is the team that he actually has, and that family that he has created.
John Leguizamo's in it as well.
Yeah.
So Tyler Maine's in it as well.
Yeah. So, for myself, there was a lot of moments where it was kind of a stereotypical kids family, some sillier moments. But overall, I really did enjoy the story and the heart. I was frustrated for the first little while before you knew more of the story of what was going on with the kids, because they were just little terrors.
Oh, yeah.
And I was so frustrated with them that it made it hard to be like, well, is this going to be like this for the entire movie? Like, I was getting very anxious. And then as soon as that stopped, once you found out the real story and the real reason, there was such a character shift out of everyone in the film. And it suddenly was like, okay, we relax. Now we can see that it's going to move forward.
Well, I'm still confused about who the movie was for.
Yeah.
Because like it feels like at some point it was potentially written as an R-rated comedy. And then it got passed around from studio to studio.
And it had to keep.
And got rewritten. And then, well, what if you cut out all this? And what if we do this? And now it's a family comedy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it feels like, because some of the jokes hit a lot higher than necessarily your family fare, but then there's a lot of jokes that were like the just above poop level.
Yes.
Right? So it's a weird, like, there had to have been
and some of the, like, the silly, like, whoa, like, weird ridiculousness that was going on.
Right. So like it feels like it probably went through quite a few revisions and changes, most likely, that it was supposed to be something else, and then they tamed it down to fit the niche that they kind of wanted. Yeah. Right. But it was one of those ones where, you know, with a family, you know, it's definitely a PG kind of family fare. Like, if you've got teenagers, they're not going to probably enjoy it. No. Ours was borderline. Yeah. Right?
He enjoyed some of it, but it was definitely, you know, as I say, for being a family film, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it could be. No. For it, because it, you know, the character development for the adults was great. And as I say, once the kids weren't terrible, then it was better.
Right. So
and there was so much love of My Little Pony in it that made me happy too. They learned about the friendship is magic. And it was fantastic.
So
that
just sold it for you.
That was right there.
Yeah.
Like I love it so much. So
but that's kind of the thing of like they didn't really know what it wanted to be, right? Yeah. So if you've got young kids, it's definitely, I think it's worth your time. Yeah. Older kids, not so much.
Yeah, I agree.
So if you don't have kids at all, most likely you're not going to watch it.
Don't watch it if you don't have any children. No, it's not worth that. Go watch Peacemaker instead.
So with that then...
totally switched gears.
Yeah, right? With that then, you decided you wanted to watch something with Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah, so then that's how that came from. It's like, okay, I like him. So what has him?
What has him, and what is him that I can laugh at that's not just watching Key and Peele again? Yeah. What did we find?
A gangster pet.
We need in the market for a gangster pet.
We wanted to watch Keanu.
Keanu! So Keanu came out in 2016, I think it was?
Sure. Well, it's close to it. It's like, why do you ever think... I can't remember any years.
I know.
I know, like, Spider-Man came out last year. Like, I'm good with that.
2016, it did come out.
There we go.
Boom.
So.
Boom, baby.
But yeah, it's Keegan-Michael Key and...
Jordan
Peele. And so basically... So Jordan Peele basically had just broken up with his girlfriend, and he's completely a wreck. And this cat, this little tiny kitten, runs away from this like gang turf war in this drug lab that gets all shot up. And these two terrible like assassin guys are out there. And the cat runs away. It ends up on Jordan Peele's front step. And so he takes this cat in and names him Keanu. And Keegan-Michael Key is his cousin, and he's over there trying to he's trying to kind of talk him off the couch idea and get back to life, and he's finds out that he has this cat, and then they're gonna his wife's gonna go away for the weekend, so they have this boys' weekend for whatnot. And he goes over there to see him, and the cat has been, or they go out to a movie, they come back and the cat's been stolen. The place was broken into. Yeah. And so it's the crazy adventure of them trying to get this cat back.
What they have to do.
And they end up entering this gang war, basically, and being mistaken for what is called the Allentown brothers that are the ones that actually killed and shot up the drug lab.
Yeah.
And
so they're playing characters.
They're pretending to be them, and they're just super straight-laced in real life, but trying to be all hardcore gangsters. And so you get to see the different sides and the shift for them. Right?
Yeah.
So
when we saw this in theaters, I laughed my ass off.
Oh yeah.
When we bought it and we watched it, I laughed my ass off. When we watched it again with your family, your folks, I laughed my ass off. When we put it in and we had our RADnesia, I laughed my ass off.
Yep.
It is a ridiculously hilarious film. Like it's just an extended Key and Peele skit.
Yes.
Right? Like, so if you enjoy their show,
yeah,
it's just like one of those skits just stretched out to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
well, because they like I think it's hilarious that so Peele's character is like, we got to go in there and we got to be all hardcore and we can totally do this. And then faced with the reality of it, he gets all weird and squeamish and doesn't know what to say and he freezes.
Yeah.
And Key's character he's so straight-laced.
Not going to do it. And
then he just breaks out into full hardcore gangster mode.
Yeah.
And it's so funny to see that shift between them.
Yeah.
And it's a good commentary on the different kind of cultural stereotypes that exist amongst that, right? That we just... It's so easy to just assume that people of color in LA are automatic gangbangers or something.
Right.
And this is how they have to talk. And, well, no, that's ridiculous. Like,
I can't remember what.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish is in it as well.
What? Because there's Tectonic.
Tectonic and Shark Tank.
Shark Tank, yeah.
I'm so proud of myself for remembering that. I'm Shark Tank. I love how he says tectonic.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And the people that are in their gang that they're now supposed to be mentoring, I love how they make like friends with them, and because it's the idea of treating them like people. Yeah. And they talk about different things and opening up things, and not just, well, we're supposed to be just doing this, and nothing will beat the conversation of George Michael's though.
Well, it's hilarious that he gets them addicted to George Michael.
Right? Like,
you got to have faith. Gotta watch out. We don't want to do too much. We could have to pull our episode.
It's 5 seconds. I think we're good. But yeah, talking about just a different style of music, I think it's funny too, because they're supposed to be these hardcore gangbangers, and here they are driving in this minivan, and they're like, what are you doing? Like, why are you in this? Dude, this is part of my undercover, No one bats an eye if you pull up in the minivan, but if you have this blinged out thing, then they look at you. It's like, whoa, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Right? Oh, totally.
So, yeah, I still found it hilarious.
And it was played so seriously too, especially with the cat. Anytime with the cat, like there's like dramatic music, and it's just...
And the cat is so adorable.
Right?
It's so good.
So if you haven't...
It's like lots of action too. Like the end, there's a car chase, and serious gun battles, and like people dying. And,
Keanu is just... And then Keanu Reeves plays Keanu at one point.
Yes.
So
in the drug trip, because he takes the drugs. Yeah. And he gets sucked into a George Michael video. And so that's hilarious, because Faith it plays that. Yeah. And that was some awesome like reminder of music videos and how different it was. And what a sex symbol George Michael's was with his music video, just focusing on his hips like that, which was quite funny. But then Keanu shows up as Keanu, and that's just the best thing. The best thing.
So if you haven't seen Keanu, definitely check it out. Go find it.
Yes.
It's worth a laugh. It is not for kids.
No.
It is R-rated. Lots of swearing. Lots of gang speak of such. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's a funny movie. Like if you like Key and Peele and you haven't seen that, you got to find it. And if you haven't seen Key and Peele, look it up, because Key and Peele is hilarious.
I said, bitch.
Did you look her in the eyes?
Oh, I did.
What'd you say?
I said it.
Did you really say it?
I said, you know it.
You looked her in the eye and you said?
I said.
What'd you say?
I said, hi. Never mind. Sorry. So. We love that skit so much. It never gets old.
Nope.
Never once does it get old.
Nope.
We use it on a normal basis.
Yep.
And now I just want to go find Key and Peele. Oh, it's a good series.
Yeah, it is. It is worth your time. Worth your time. And you want another series that's worth your time?
What's another series worth your time?
MacGruber. That's right.
Look, you got me to sing again.
I didn't even force you. You just did it.
It's just because it's so funny. The opening, like, weird little homage to James Bond is...
I can't believe that they actually got his butt.
Right?
His naked butt in the opening credits.
Right?
Right?
It's like someone had to have seen it.
Right.
And realized what it was. But yet it feels like no one understood it.
Right.
And... they were just like, sure, whatever. But, well, because it's on, what, Showtime or something, right?
Well, here it is. It's on Paramount Plus in the States.
So it must be because it's not on
But still, even though it was on a network, like, it was approved that it's that close. It looks like Dunes or something,
yeah,
right?
And then you're like, wait, no, that is an ass.
That, you know, right? You can see the hair and all that, right?
Yeah.
Like...
that's the thing that ruins it, is the hair.
Yeah, and then going into, like, the explosion with him, like, screaming. Right?
I love that because it's so serious, too. He looks so angry.
Right? Oh. And what's crazy about the MacGruber show is that it's not the same MacGruber that's in SNL.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, I think I said before, this is like the multiverse of MacGruber. Like, it's the same MacGruber that was in the movie. Mm-hmm. But even the movie is not the MacGruber from the skits.
Especially when Will Forte was back in SNL.
Yeah. They
did a whole bunch of MacGruber skits, which was hilarious.
And he was like...
and he's so terrible.
Yeah.
He's a terrible human being.
Right? He's still terrible, but he's not as... the skit versions were just like... I'm trying
super ignorant.
Yes, and more like this. He's just like blindsided by things. Like he's still almost a hero. Like he's still kind of a hero in the show versus just an asshole in the skits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But down the States, it's completely finished. But up here, it's still got an episode or so to go. Mm-hmm. But I'm laughing. We tried to watch one of the episodes when I was sick, and it hurt because I still wasn't better enough.
He's like, I shouldn't have watched a comedy.
Because I was laughing and coughing and laughing and coughing. But the true name of this segment is, why is Katie so frustrated with MacGruber? So why are you so frustrated with Mac? I mean, he's a national hero.
He's a national hero back from Reagan days, too, apparently. I love that there's no explanation whatsoever about anything about him.
No.
You know, they find all these pictures and they're like, wait a second, like...
it just keeps going back in time.
He looks the exact same with all these presidents. Yep. Like, sure, whatever. I'm amused, but also horrified about him. Because there's only so much of, like, the really, like, grotesque stuff, too.
Yeah.
That's, I think, I have a hard time with a lot of that. I have never been so turned off from a sex scene in my life. Oh, my God. No, please stop. It hurts me. Like,
yeah.
Like, there's a level of, like, okay, I have no reaction. And then, wow, this is kind of arousing. And then there's I can't even imagine having sex anywhere near this time after watching this. That's where that is.
MacGruber is the cock block for Katie.
He is the ultimate cock block. He's terrible. And, I mean, I'm amused with him and Vicky's love affair.
Yeah.
But also so confused at the same time.
Yeah.
And the disgusting pube locket. And
the first night we made love,
God, it's just...
took some of your pubes and I put in the locket and I've carried it all these years.
It's like nauseating. And so
what you want is you want me to get you a locket for your birthday?
Oh, you know it. Oh, God, it's so terrible.
What did you think of that scene where he gave her a locket so she could have her very own pube locket? And it was more sensual than the...
It was more sexual. It was more sensually shot than the sex scene. Which
I think that's the brilliance of it.
And I appreciate it. I really do. I appreciate the
because it's like the foreplay is more like sexual and like enticing that they have than the actual act. Yeah. I think that's the thing, is like the act of sex is always portrayed so like glamorous and all that.
Yeah.
And like they portray it like it's that raw, dirty horribleness,
as terrible,
right?
As his face is what makes it terrible,
yeah.
right? I mean, and the sounds that he makes, right? But let's be honest, sex is like that. We have it like, it's that idea that's pornographic where, you know, we assume that it's just this amazing, fantastical thing.
Yeah.
But I always, you know, honestly, it reminds me, I laugh back to Friends when Monica talks about Chandler's O-face.
Oh.
And he always thinks that he's just so magical, but she's like, no, you have a weird O-face.
Yeah.
And the reality that sex is weird,
yeah,
you know, and it's not glamorous, so I think it is a good commentary on reality.
Yeah.
It's an extreme, it's a spoof.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Yeah. Right. But yeah, definitely more of the foreplay aspect tends to be can be much more sensual. So I'm frustrated with how terrible he is with his impulse control, and like, you know, I was super frustrated with him ruining all the plans and letting the bad guys get away, and all because he couldn't let Vicky just do what she wanted to do. Yeah. And I was just wanting to throw something at the TV for him. And then all the weirdness happened, and it's just, there's a whole lot of things I have a lot of emotions for this show.
We saved the day. Let's go to Mexico.
Yeah. Just, I cannot believe that we actually had a whole like focused viewing of him on the toilet.
Wiping his ass.
Literally
as he watched
wiping his ass too. Not just sitting there, but like full on going for it as he watches the news.
Yeah.
And it's like, this feels so awkward. Like, I need to look away. Like, I shouldn't be watching this. This is like weird.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like at the end of I can think about it, and it's just like, it's so awkwardly cringy that it's funny.
Yeah.
Because like
they play the characters so well.
Right.
Too.
I would love to see them do almost like some of their other characters, like they're like they need a movie based around like their singing characters or something.
Oh yeah, totally.
Right. They played on
They had
SNL.
so many good paired characters, right?
So, but MacGruber is on Paramount Plus. It's on Showtime up here, or Showcase up here, sorry.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch the last one. I am sad that they didn't, for us, we only are getting it now, and it's full Christmas series.
Yeah, it's based around Christmas time.
Yeah, so that was kind of sad, but I'm curious to watch the next one here.
The finale.
On quite a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So.
But it's definitely been fun. So if you enjoy that kind of Will Forte crazy humor, and he's uncaged.
Yeah.
No restraints by any real ratings. It feels like there's swearing, there's sex, there's violence. Like he throat punched a guy from behind. The ultimate throat rip. They said it couldn't be done, and you here will live in legend.
In his record, it's the first soldier to reach 1,000 civilian kills. It's like, I actually had to read that. Wait, what? That's not okay at all. Yeah, it's really terrible. So, yeah. So as frustrated I am, it still is really funny though. So
yeah,
I understand. So, okay, I think that's the end of the action and excitement for this episode.
Go watch Peacemaker. Or as Katie refers to it, as the Eagly Show with a side of peace.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
And remember, stay rad, dudes.